For this build, I'm gonna make the main head of the hammer using this chunk of leaf spring. I'll probably cut off a chunk about here, forge it in on itself to lengthen it and hopefully widen it a bit. And I'm gonna drill a hole through part of it, and I'm gonna hammer this pry bar to shape. And this will be kind of the central handle. I plan on putting wood scales on it, but I'm using this pry bar instead of just a piece of mild steel because even when not heat treated, this stuff's still pretty tough. So let's get started. Okay, now that I have everything forged or rough forged to shape, I'm gonna drill probably a few holes top of this to put my handle through. This is spring steel. I've always had trouble drilling through that, so I might end up drilling a couple of small dents and then attempting to hot cut a hole. Hopefully, if I do that, it'll actually go. But then once I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and grind everything to shape. So that way I have maybe something a little less blocky. I was gonna have just kind of a flat head, but the way that folds over, and I think I'm gonna like cut another groove going this direction, so that way I can have the four corners. I don't know, I'll probably play around with it, and this needs ground to more of a spike, of course. But yeah, let's get going. Okay, so I have everything attached. I have this, I hope, forge welded in place. I mean, it's not going anywhere. You can tell I was hitting it against some dried tree stumps pretty hard. I accidentally hit some concrete with it, and it's still not moving. So at the very least, it's pressure fit tight enough to where it's not going anywhere. But anyway, I wasn't originally planning on forge welding it. I was gonna pin it in place or peen this out to have it held in place, but after forging it, this seemed like the logical option. So with that, I'm gonna just grind it to shape. I plan on, since this, doing it at the focus. Okay, camera won't really focus, but it's kind of dented in here a little bit from the just forging of the head itself. So I'm gonna probably grind that in to kind of make these 4 points more pronounced. This, of course, would be a spike and cut out that fold there. And again, just give it a little more shape so that way it's not so blocky. I'll probably just start grinding and just see where it goes. And the handle, I'll probably leave this rough and probably drill a couple holes down towards the bottom, put oak scales on it, and then wrap in leather. I think with the whole hammered out look, that'll look pretty cool. So let's get this thing finished up. Okay, now that I have my handle scales on, I'm not going to bother sanding them smooth like I normally do because I'm going to wrap it in this leather. I got this off Amazon a while back for another project, but the look of it is horrible. So I'm going to use the back side of it, glue it on, and then wrap it, oh, there it goes, in, this is just twine. But that holds it together until the glue dries. And then I discovered that if you take wood stain, it'll actually stain leather. And I found a nice aged look, like antique leather, is dark walnut works really well for that. So I'm just gonna stain the whole thing, so I plan on having a little bit of wood exposed just for whatever reason I want to. But anyway, see, I'm gonna glue it on and stain it, and then it'll be finished. Now that everything's all together, we just need some wood stain for the exposed wood and the leather to give it a nice aged look so it fits the rest of the hammer. And damn, that looks really nice. It's got a really rough, brutal look to it, that forged metal. I find dark walnut pairs with that very nicely. It's dark, but still looks natural. Okay, so that was the build for this. It's pretty fun to build. You know, I do really love hammers, so warhammers are one of my personal favorite weapons, next to like crossbows. But now that it's made, let's go smash some shit. First up, we're gonna test the hammer end of it on this coconut. Fun. This was all I could find. It's just shattered it. Next up, we're gonna test the spike on this large, generic, yet unnamed brand of tomato soup. One hell of a can opener. So this didn't take hardly anything to punch through. I just kind of more dropped the hammer with a little bit of force, and that was about it, and it just put a hole through it. Spilled tomato juice everywhere. Now it smells like tomatoes. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this build video and test. It was pretty fun to do, and of course I love hammers, so you know, why not make one? And well, I hope to see you in the next video. Or it's more of a, you'll see me because this is filmed, so I won't see you. But I hope you watch it anyway.